Welcome to the Coliving with PadSplit Podcast, where we talk to successful PadSplit investors and have them share their secrets to success, not only in PadSplit, but in other facets of real estate. This podcast will help you expedite your learning to be a successful investor in the co-living space. We are your hosts, Ray and Orianna Nunez. Show us some love by subscribing and sharing so we can continue to bring on amazing guests.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coliving with PadSplit podcast. My name is Ray Nunez, and my lovely host is Orianna Nunez. And our guest here today is Drew Oquendo. He is a good friend of ours, but also a PadSplit host, a sub-2 genius when it comes to creative financing and structuring deals. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how Drew got into real estate, his military background, and how he first got started in real estate, as well as expanding his rental portfolio and growing into a little bit of PadSplit and where his future is headed.
The importance of mindset for him, the importance of reinventing yourself as many times as needed. And the goals that he's looking to achieve, you know?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Drew, we're happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. We're excited to have you here. We're excited to share more about you. We know you. We want to know more about you, your business, yourself, a little bit of everything.
Is this going to be a one-way thing? Because I kind of curious about you guys too.
Yeah, of course. Feel free
it's
to
conversational at the end of the
day.
day.
Feel free to bounce back as well.
But we don't want to drag on. We drop signs and
yeah, I got you.
Did yellow letters for a bunch of years.
We go with the flow, but it really is about you. But of course, feel free to bounce back. But Drew, can you tell us, how did you get started? Like, give me bio. Give me a bio.
You weren't born into real estate.
Yeah, give me a bio. Give me all of it. Like,
okay.
Just let's get uncomfortable.
Careful what you ask for.
Let's get uncomfortable and let's share.
Now I'll make it
make
it quick. I'll give you a short and condensed version. But I got started back in while I was in the Marine Corps. So I was in the Marine Corps my last year. I didn't really have time to do a workup and to get ready for deployment and then deploy. So I had a collateral duty I was doing. I was just working in the Army, just buying time. But that whole last year, which was 2014, is when I launched my business as a wholesaler, right?
Okay.
Tried to do wholesaling at first.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
You were doing the mailers, or were you
I did
MLS?
Everything. Oh my God, I did everything. I had the whole. First of all, I learned off of Jerry Norton.
I was gonna ask you, how did you hear about wholesaling 10 years ago?
Everyone saw his videos.
Yeah, so I did everything. I had the whole show. You know, some people say fake it till you make it. Like, it was like that. Like, I had, like, if you called my line, it was going to a switchboard and all this other stuff. There was this one big investor in the area. He actually thought I was bigger than him. He hit me up on one of my deals, and we talk. We're friends now, but it's crazy how the facade can go so far. But before that year, the last quarter of 2013 is when I just saw a YouTube video, Oprah. I don't watch Oprah or anything like that, but it was Robert Kiyosaki on there talking about Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that kind of was the hook for everybody, for a lot of people. So that was the hook for me, and he was talking the home-based business, real estate, all that good stuff, and that was just like the string. I started pulling that, and then pulling and pulling, finding more information, then wholesaling, and then boom, I'm an implementer. So as soon as I find something out, I'm ready to do it. So I took that time. It was probably literally like December. Took all that time to ramp up. Got Jerry Norton's course. Learned one good thing about Jerry Norton that you don't really see now, and a lot of the wholesalers now, is he taught to, if you're gonna sell these deals, like, know who your buyer is, right? Know what they're looking for, and in order to know what they're looking for, like, you got to understand how to flip. So he taught how to flip. So I learned how to flip from him, and also run rental comps and all that stuff from him, and that's what set me up for success, or what I would consider success at the time. And because my first wholesale deal, did not go so well, and it wasn't a bad thing. It's just that nobody wanted to buy it. Nobody wanted to buy it at all. I was like, these numbers work. You can't tell me these numbers don't work. Jerry Norton told me they work. So what I did was I ended up finding a private lender, that the guy I mentioned, who we're friends now, the bigger investor in the area. He ended up funding me for that deal, and he kind of he didn't really babysit or hold my hand through it, but he was there for guidance. So he gave me the whole like playbook. You know, I got to use his contractors, everything. So I kind of got lucky. His money, his contractors, all that. And we split it 60-40. I made $20K on that deal.
Nice.
You know, so that worked out well. And I became a whole fix and flipper from that point on.
Right.
You know, skip the whole wholesaling route.
That's fantastic.
That's a good story.
Yeah, it worked out well.
That's a winning story.
Yeah,
and this is 2013, 14?
2014, yeah. First deal was right out the bat, you know, January.
So
Wow.
you got into real estate before we did. We were 16.
In Florida.
You were 16.
2016.
Oh,
no, bro. I wasn't
like,
16,
damn.
bro. I was 26.
It's like, damn. All right.
Nah, bro. I wish.
Yeah.
That was in Florida, right?
No, actually, I was at Camp Lejeune. I was stationed outside of Camp Lejeune, and so that was in that area, Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Got it.
Yeah.
How long were you in the Marine Corps for?
I did 10 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, thank you for your service.
Welcome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Why did you decide to go into the Marine Corps?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. To get out from where I was at.
Okay.
You know, I was born and raised Patterson, New Jersey. Not the greatest place. I tried to do 1 year. I did 1 year of college, but you know, I had that mindset like I don't even know what I want to do. You know, I have no idea what I want to do, and I'm gonna be spending all this money that I don't have. You know, getting these loans and stuff for what? You know, just to try to figure it out. And I didn't resonate with anything in college. So that 1 year, obviously I went through the motions. So I did the whole first year, and I ended up getting suspended from school on some dumb stuff because I was just playing around. I should have left because school was already out. I was just chilling with some of my friends that, you know, I met and was, you know, got cool with throughout the time we were there. And we were playing with these there was this big thing that these little guns around the campus. Mm-hmm. These like it's like CO2 guns. So they hurt, little pellets in them.
Okay.
And apparently
like a paintball gun.
Yeah, but a little bit harder.
Yeah, and it's usually metal.
Okay.
And you use CO2 to shoot faster.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of paint coming out, blood will come out if you hit it right. So people were like sniping people around the campus and shooting. So we were in my room, and we were just, you know, chilling, messing around, and we was like wrestling over the gun, trying to take it, you know, playing around. And I ended up shooting one of my friends in the leg, and he was like, "Oh, fuck, you shot me." He was loud as hell, and the door was open, and our RA, the resident advisor, walked by, and she was like, "Give me the gun, and we played this old, like, played dumb, like, what gun? And she went and got the campus police and all that stuff,
Right.
And it was this big old thing, so I ended up going to court on campus, and they ended up suspending me, so, and my fate was sealed, so I was like, I guess I'll go to the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it.
Were you always driven? Because from what I can tell in the outside world, you are a very disciplined and a very driven person.
Appreciate it. Well, I'm sure it has to do with the military, a lot to do with the military. But I do think I was driven, or at least disciplined before. You know, I was raised by my grandmother, and, you know, she had that old school type of, you know, training, you know, like lay you over her lap and fucking hit you with the damn brush type of shit, you know. And she had some punishments where you stand up in the corner and sit there with your hands up, you know. You don't want to go to bed and do some shit like that, right? So so I skipped the generation where parents got lackadaisical with their kids and didn't discipline them. So I guess I got the discipline to start from there. But yeah.
So, okay, you left them. You did your first fix and flip. You kind of did a crash course in wholesaling because you were about to wholesale.
Crash course for sure.
And ended up just investing, which I think obviously is the ultimate cheat code. And that's how you end up learning ultimately faster, is by tagging along with someone or paying for a course or education. You ran through it.
Yeah.
What did you always think fix and flip at that point? And how long did you fix and flip? And when did you get into holding property?
So that whole year, I really got lucky, honestly, thinking back on it. Like, Jacksonville, North Carolina is a small town. So, and you know, I was in the Marine Corps all that time. So obviously I was deploying and leaving and coming back, but I had that place pretty dialed in. Price points was something I can fathom in my head. You know, it wasn't like Orlando when I came down, which was 2015. Orlando's price points was 3+, and that was way too high for me, you know, for my mindset at the time.
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah, right?
And it's cheap looking back.
Yeah, right. It's cheap, right? Looking back. And before I was like, oh, I don't know about them price points. But you know, we're talking like, that first house sold, the ARV was like 90, 99K, 100K, So when we talk about, when I bought it, he's loaning me like 20 or 30K to do the deal, and at that time, the strategy was perfect. We had this local bank. This is why I love local credit unions. I had this perfect little local credit union that we bought it with his money, and literally it was like transactional funding pretty much, because what we did, he didn't put a lien on it. So I owned it. So it looked like I owned it free and clear. Mm-hmm. So, which was a, risk for him, but it was calculated risk. I mean, where was I really going to go? And he was former FBI agent and all that stuff. So, and where am I really going? So, we didn't put a lien on it. And then so I went to the bank. They did this whole in-house desktop appraisal. So it was super easy, super
Love
quick.
those.
I know, right? And then I got approved for a HELOC. So I pulled money out and gave him back his money, and then I had money for the rehab. So he was out of it, just waiting for his check. So that's perfect. I got to hit that strategy a few times before they changed, and during that whole year, like I got to do like every single type of deal except subject to. I knew a guy in the area who was doing subject to. I just didn't. I didn't fall into any of those opportunities, but did seller finance.
Subject to back then seemed a little, call it sketchy. Like it was like
it seems sketchy now.
Right. No, but even then you're like, wow, I feel like there's so many more resources today, right?
Yeah.
And education on it. So that's still awesome.
Yeah, we had a guy killing it in the area back then. Like everything subject to, all his deals, and he was selling on a wrap and everything. He was learning from or his mentor was Lou Brown, which is out of Florida. Yeah. So killing it. But yeah, so I didn't touch subject to, but I did everything else: sandwich lease options, regular lease options. So I had some holds from those type of creative deals, and I just didn't really have any fear back then. Call it ignorance or whatever. It was just running through it. And then I moved down here, and everything changed.
What changed?
Everything. Let's
go.
Like the price point for one, right? So I figured I would get my license and become an agent, which is crazy. My idea of being an agent, I thought it was a female job. I thought only females were agents. I never knew it was like a guy thing. It's just ignorance. But because guys kill it, they kill it in real estate. And I started seeing, that people are making money doing this. It's like wholesaling. I was like, damn, I wasn't making that money. Because I came down, I'm like, I'm going to do it myself because I already run direct-to-seller campaigns, mailers and all that. I got this, And my whole first year, I only made $7,000.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't make shit.
Luckily, you're an investor and it didn't kill you.
Oh, shit.
Because most people would have went just broke.
Oh, I went broke. I had credit cards. I had money saved up from investing. I had mad credit cards from the business funding and all the strategies everybody's pumping out now. I was flipping houses on those credit cards and everything. So I had it made, the 800 credit score. I had it made coming out, and that shit derailed the fuck out of me. Straight up did. It didn't derail my mindset or anything like that. I still kept it moving, still made money, but I dug a real deep hole. And that was because I had a wife, I had a son, my son at the time, still have a son, but no wife. Or not her, we're divorced. But that like made it really challenging to try to provide and be a man for the household and all that stuff. And that whole year, like it's crazy because it really was like what I was telling myself in my head. The shitty story I was telling. I would have this thing I would say, no matter what I do, I'll get it closed. I'll close the seller. By the time I get home or back to the office from the appointment, they're ready to cancel. Or I'll get a deal quick and then it'll go pending and then it'll stay pending for like forever and then fall out. So it was like something's always happening. And me telling myself that kept perpetuating that story, and it was happening in real life.
That's what you were attracting.
Yeah, for real.
You were putting that 100%. Out and you were making it happen.
That was the limit in belief.
Straight up. So I had to undo that. But it just took a lot of credit card debt to undo that. And I ended up getting sued by a couple of those credit card companies. Got sued by American Express for 2 credit cards. Got sued by I think Citibank or something like that, or whatever. So yeah,
that was a hard time.
800 credit.
How did you pivot?
How did I pivot? Well, shit,
so started with.
Still pivoting.
You're right. Started with shift in mindset, right?
Yes, had to.
Which is to me, such a hard thing to untrain yourself.
Yeah.
Like unlearning so many patterns that we were just raised with is one of the hardest things. But when you get it, it's like, wow, everything is so much easier now.
Yeah, 100%. So how did I pivot? It's interesting because during that time, I had the debt issue, but all I did was change my mindset to, I got to operate on cash, so everything was cash. So I was making money and just using cash. And during I had some great wins throughout the way to keep me going, right? But first, mindset obviously had to change. Also, my daily habits had to change. That was the real key thing, the daily habits, which I still tweak and fine tune daily habits. And I do a lot more of showing my daily habits now on Instagram and everything, just so I can make sure I maintain the daily habits, because I got now a huge accountability piece to it, because everybody's seeing me. I remember daylight savings happened this year, and I do my push-ups and all that. I have like 4 main things I do on social media every day, no matter what. And and it's so I wake up 2:45. It's at that time, 2:45, 3 o'clock. 3:30ish, I'm doing push-ups at some point in there, right? And I thought I missed it because daylight savings, there's no 2 o'clock,
That's right.
I was like, what the fuck happened? I felt shitty too. And then for some reason, somebody called me out on it too. That's how they're watching. Everybody's watching. Somebody called me out on it too. But
and they don't compliment usually. It's on the family.
They'll let you know when you're not doing it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it
keeps
works,
you on your
so
toes.
It keeps you on your toes for sure. So the daily habits had to change. And back then what the daily habits looked like was, role playing, prospecting, like every day, role playing every day, in the morning before prospecting calls and in the afternoon. That's how I got really good with the scripts.
So role playing with a teammate or yourself? Or?
Yeah, I ended up joining the team too.
Got it. Back
then, yeah. But even before joining the team, role playing with all the other guys who were cold calling expireds back then as agents, and I joined coaching too. Mike Ferry. I was with Mike Ferry organization.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are guys all across the nation. We're in a Zoom with, at the time it was like Google Hangout, and we're cold calling and all that stuff, or role playing and then rolling into the cold calling. So a support group kind of, I guess.
Accountability.
Accountability group.
Yeah, it's huge. So also too, I had a cool challenge when I got sued. That was a good experience because I actually won. I was looking at all the attorneys, and I saw a trend, like they weren't doing shit for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a credit card case, all they're gonna do is take your money and then settle for a lesser amount. That's it. That's like their number one move. I saw one lady in there that I forget her name, but one lady, and this is here in Orange County.
Okay.
So I think it's a criminal case or it's a civil case. I don't know, but so anybody can fact check it. I think you can look online and see it. But there was one lady in there. Actually, because I was looking at their cases. So yeah, you can see mine. So I looked at this lady's case. So I looked at 500 cases of the past 6 months for American Express to see how they move, like see what they're gonna do. And I also studied court procedure and all that stuff real quick. Got caught up to speed on it and everything, so I can represent myself. But when I saw this lady, I was like, yo, she actually won. I was like, damn, maybe I'll hire her. So I went to get a consultation with her, and I couldn't get an appointment or something stupid. So I was like, I'm doing myself. And, sure enough, I actually won. They had a Miami, big hotshot Miami attorney. And then I started hitting them with some of the laws and case studies and things like that. And then they brought in a New York attorney, and then I was like, oh shit. And then the New York attorney, I guess he saw what I had on him, because I did a response to their claim, and they dismissed it with prejudice. So I was like, damn. And Citibank dropped the case. They didn't even pursue it.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh yes.
Do you get away with not paying back when that happens?
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love that for you, bro.
Thank you.
Congrats.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I do. Credit still fucked, but got away without paying back.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, you can get away without paying back anyway. Your credit just gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
But it was a good experience. It was a good defeat. It was fraud.
Yeah.
Somebody made some fraudulent charges on my account.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever. And then I got away with it. I got out unscathed. aside for the credit. But yeah. So I still have to. I haven't even built back the credit. I mean, it's coming back slowly.
Right.
But I still have those the other credit cards, negative remarks and stuff on there. But it's like, yeah, you can do anything in the world you want. You just can't do it all at the same time. You know, so it's
one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. I gotta make this money right now. You know, a lot of people. You know, I don't know what you guys feel about this, but a lot of people, they put so much fucking weight on credit. Like, damn. But yo, your credit ain't shit without money.
Yeah.
You still need money.
Yeah.
They forget that part. You know, they're so, oh, credit's important. Credit is important, but it's not more important than it already is.
It's knowing how to using and leveraging it that's important, but
100%.
you're right.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
Without it, it's
You know, so because making money is important as well, you know, and I do well at that. So give me some credit, damn, because a lot of people be talking shit when I mention credit.
Bro, I mean, you buy without credit, we buy with credit, but as I've told you in one of our past interactions, I'm like, dude, you're ramping up faster. So it doesn't, you know, credit at the end of the day. Yeah. It could in itself be a limiting belief.
Yeah. I like both strategies though. Now, as I you know, grow the portfolio and then like grow in mindset and consciousness and skill set and all that, like starting to see both sides of it, you know, and I do 100% respect the side with credit and using those strategies and things like that, because it can be limiting. It doesn't, like, not having credit can be limiting. It doesn't have to be a game stopper though.
Right.
That's what most people think. It's not a game stopper at all.
Right.
And that's what I've been able to learn from the creative side, you know, that I can make anything happen. It's just, if you have some credit, it is nice.
All right, it helps. When did you just started to keep your first property? Like, a lot of people are like very attractive into the active cash of flipping, right? Or wholesaling or being a realtor in that commission, right? It feels like a high and it's just such a quick reward.
Yeah.
But when was that kind of shift in your mindset or career that you're like, okay, no, it's time for me to keep something in holding, and why?
Yeah. Actually, right off rip, you know, way back from the beginning, I kept some properties. One, this don't really count, but everybody throws it out there. The first property I bought was I used my VA loan. That was a primary residence that I had got with my wife at the time. So I ended up having that. When we got divorced, you know, it's crazy how anger and emotions make you do some dumb stuff. So somebody, I think this guy, whoever he was, her loan officer told her that that basically she should quit claim her name off of it so she can go get her loan. But she wasn't even on the mortgage or anything. Okay. You know, not at all. And we had it rented, you know, like just fine. Everything was good. And it's been rented. It was rented for some time, you know, to where they could, you know, write it off the DTI. Yep. But I didn't argue. I was like, all right, I'll do it right away. As soon as she requested that, I went and got the quick claim deed. We did it and she was off and it was mine alone. But I had that one and a couple others. I had about 5 at a time. And that was, and so I had like 3 before I came down here, and then I bought like another 2 down here, just like some seller finance stuff that came that just, you know, dropped in my lap. And I had to like sell them all off when I was going through some stuff with like legal issues and stuff with my daughter's mom. You know, we never got married, and so, you know, fighting for custody and doing all that, you know, dumb stuff that people do these days. You know, I sold that off and liquidated, and then just now building it back up. Last year when we met, was built in the process of building everything back up. Awesome. Yeah.
Have you ever dabbled in short-term rentals, Airbnbs?
Man, you must have not been at that PadSplit, that PadSplit panel.
Oh, I remember.
We hosted?
This is for the viewers at the end of the day.
No. I will not.
You must have not been there.
No, I
don't do that Airbnb stuff.
Nah, I don't do that. Oh, I don't have the bandwidth for that. Hell no.
Okay.
Like you guys can pull it off. You guys got a dope dynamic, you know. I have my girl now, and she helps out a lot now with everything in the business. So we could probably pull it off now if I already didn't have this fixed mindset. But back then, coming up, you know, and the reason why I have the mindset now is that I'm not doing that cutesy stuff. You know, I don't have the bandwidth for it. And that's not necessarily a good thing. I don't slow down. I just keep running, you know, running and running. I do need to slow down and stabilize things that I have going. But like the short-term rental space, it's like dealing with them people. And hell no. Like, yeah, I just can't do it.
It's very customer service oriented.
Yeah. That's not my thing. Not really my thing.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
How the hell did you find PadSplit and you decided to wake up one day and be like, now I'm gonna run the same pace, but also add this into my running?
Yeah, actually, that made the stride, even easier. But through Sub 2, Pace.
Through Sub 2.
Yeah, Pace. He put a lot of people on the PadSplit, and like I said, I'm an implementer, so I wasn't even on the live Zoom, but I watched the Zoom, and Nick Bowers was on there.
Shout out to Nick.
Shout out to Nick. Yeah, and I reached out to him, and I was like, say less, and not unfortunate. Like he's my guy, but I'm the type. I'm not waiting for anything. So once I found out it was all online, I was like, oh hell no, I don't have to hit him up. I still checked in with him on certain things, but I was like, shit, I'm just gonna go here and do it. And I just didn't slow down for anything. So, but yeah, that's how I found it.
That's freaking awesome. We love people like you, but we also want you to use us.
Yeah. I'll think about it next time.
Well, no, it gets scary. Like,
I'm not saying like me and him, like account executives, like Nick, us, because it's like we get both. I love the individuals like you. You understood it, you got it, and to your point, I'm an action taker. I'm gonna go, right? Yeah. I'll probably make some mistakes here and there, but they're not gonna cost me as much as me waiting.
True.
Right? So you go, you get it. You're like, okay, time to implement. Let's do this. Versus maybe we see a lot of the other spectrum, which is they absorb all the information. They're here for the community. They're here for all the friends and all that. And then when it comes to taking action, it's been still 3 years gathering information.
Yeah.
Still, 4 years thinking on how to get their first deal.
Yeah.
I haven't made one move, and you're just like, but wait, how much are you just now like a hoarder of information? Because like you have all the tools.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. So we see kind of both of the sides of the spectrum, which is like
edutainment.
Infotainment. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a hybrid of that too. Me and my disco guy, Joel, we were talking about it on the way here because we're working on a deal with somebody that we're wholesaling, and it's that this avatar is the person who is gung-ho about it, like ready, doing everything until it comes down to put down that money. Once you put down that money, now all of a sudden they're getting all analytical. I can't stand that type.
They want to do it, but
yeah. Now it's real at this point. When it's time to hand over that money.
It's hard to jump off the cliff.
Yeah, you got to just jump, man. No toe dipping, like jump.
You got it.
Yeah, for real.
We're not like, let's chat. No,
yeah, hell
it's
no.
all the way.
I think that's an entertaining part of wholesaling. Like you hold weekly, is it weekly or is it monthly meets with calls?
Yeah.
And when you do that, it's the people that you meet out there and you tell them, hey, this is what I provide. This is what I can educate you with. You can only go as far as another person goes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, high population when you meet them, but then how many people convert and actually show up to these events and then put in that work?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, not everybody, I actually don't, I'm at a point now where I kind of don't like the free events, because there's a certain demographic. There's talent in the groups. You just got to sift through a lot. It's like a free list. The free list might not, it's over, like it's picked over. Maybe you'll find a deal in there, maybe not. But I like the paid events. Where it weeds people, weeds some people out. It's not a perfect answer though, because there's still people who just have money and they like that infotainment stuff too. But at least they can be private lenders, At least they got money, they got something they're bringing to the table other than questions, and they want them wanting to pick your brain and all that shit, So that's kind of why this the mentorship I have is I love the way it's set up, right? Because I struggle with having building a team, right? And actually, I'm reading this book right now that's helping.
What are you reading?
It's Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time.
Okay.
Right? And the number one gem from that book is, do you have it up there?
I'm trying to see if it's
It's not here. It's probably over there.
So you guys read it?
Yeah.
The number one thing that I hold on to from that book is he says, don't hire to grow your business. Hire to get back your time. Right?
Yep.
And then he broke it down in phases. The first phase of anyone's life, whether you're an entrepreneur or like meaning self-employed, working for yourself, right? Prisoner to your own business, or you work for somebody else, right? You're trading time for money, right?
Right.
Yep.
Trading time for dollars. Everybody's doing, even the solopreneurs doing it too, right?
Yep.
Right.
The second phase is using that money that you make to buy back your time. Now you're
That's
buying
right.
back time, right?
Correct.
And then the third phase, the enterprise phase, where everybody wants to be. I hope I'm not jagging this up, but the third phase, the enterprise phase, is using that money to make more money.
Yep.
Right? To make more money. I love that. Like,
Right.
makes so much sense.
And ultimately, that's what we found buy and holds being.
Yeah.
It's in so many ways, you not only make money on at least the way that we do it, we burr, so we're pulling money out, but it's not gains, so it's not capital gains tax.
Yeah.
We're doing a cash out refi. Now we have extra money to go ahead and put the walls up or potentially buy more properties.
Yeah.
And then also depreciation as well as appreciation on the property. So multifaceted, and we're able to now understand what our time is worth.
Yeah. Facts.
If you're just selling properties or you're wholesaling properties, and that was kind of the thing that took us out of wholesaling is, if I get injured, can I still drop signs?
Yeah.
Can I sell a property? Can I acquire a property? And if I'm limited, then I make no money.
True. Facts. Yeah. 100%. And you know, it's that time I was going through legal issues, I ended up getting arrested a few times and spending some time in jail, right? And that's when it really hit home, right? Because I have deals going on.
Right.
And now all these people want this money from me. I got to pay this for bail. I got to pay this for a lawyer. I got to pay this for that. It seems like everything costs $5,000. You know, it's $5,000 this, $5,000 that.
Yeah.
And if I'm in jail, I can't make any money, and I couldn't get a public defender because it looks like I make so much money, but I don't have. That's all like earned income that gets spent up. Like I don't have. There's not another check coming. I'm not here. I can't work. You know.
Right.
Yep.
It's like it's crazy. Nobody sees that. Nobody cares. Not that I expect them to care, but that just helps. That opens you up. Opens your eyes. You know.
So how did that first, to pivot into PadSplit a little bit, what was your mindset when you got that first property? How did you PadSplit that property? And what are some of the numbers? Because we look at it, we need to buy something that is discounted so that we can get a better appraisal and then be able to do a cash out refi. For you, you're doing it creatively.
Yeah.
What did that deal look like? What did it end up being before and after? And then what was your thoughts on setting the rooms up? Because you don't do Airbnb.
I do prison cells.
Stop it. Stop it. You don't.
These prison cells go hard.
Stop
They work.
it.
But no, my and it's funny because when I started, I didn't see all the cute stuff that I see now, like the beds made
That's
and all that
right.
stuff.
No,
like, it's
it was.
crazy. They elevated.
There's
the
a
game.
lot of evolution.
Like,
Yeah.
damn,
That's
man.
why you check in with your account executive, bro.
There's almost like this is like a PadSplit 2.0 era for sure.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, TVs and all that stuff. I haven't done the TVs yet. But to answer the question, the first one, it was a house I already had. It was a triplex, a makeshift triplex, right? And I got that on a hybrid deal, right? So
What is a hybrid deal?
hybrid, good question. A hybrid is a combination of subject to, right, taking over the mortgage, and then also instead of paying out the guy's equity, which he had like $300,000 of it, which there's no way I was doing that, making payments on that, right? So setting up seller finance terms on that.
On the equity.
Yeah. So did that deal. Still have it now, and I had the back unit. Actually, the back. So he had a lease back, which he's still in there, which is a problem, right? Problem I got to deal with. But so he's in the main unit. The two other units, I had to evict two people out of there. So between the two, we're talking about 4,000, well, 8,000, right? Because 4,000 each, I'm losing, right? Just trying to run so fast, not sitting and stabilizing a property and then moving on to the next, right? That's my bad. That's a huge learning lesson of all of last year. And so PadSplit, I started learning about PadSplit. I'm like, shit, I'm getting rid of this person in there, this chick. I could just turn it into a PadSplit. It was a 2-bedroom at the time. Now it's a 3-bedroom. Nothing crazy, but that's really all of the space I had to make with it. Plus, I already owned it. So when that house is done, So they get $225 a piece in the rooms, right? When that house is done, there's 2 units, so 2 doors in one. There's 3 in that back unit, and then the main unit will be another 3. So it'll be a pretty penny once I get this guy out. So I'm still dealing with that.
Nice.
But as far as you guys made it so easy. So as far as the build out, it was like dummy proof. Like shit, if I can do it with limited bandwidth and all that, like anybody can do it for real. And that's really all I can say about it. There's really nothing else to really harp on. It's just too easy. Everything, and people ask me for PadSplit advice and things like that. I'm like, bro, it's on the website. I end up usually just sending them the website, but like literally everything's there.
And you stuck with most of the standards from the.
I'm a standard kind of guy, man.
Bro, there's nothing wrong with that. Like honestly, it's changed. When we first started acquiring our own properties, it was okay. It needs to be 8 bedrooms, and then it quickly changed that the next property we got for $85,000. And we were like, okay, we cool with 6.
No, that's not how it went.
That's not how it went.
No.
How did it go?
The truth is, he wanted to maximize every square foot of each property. And I was the one that was like, ugh, it's too much. Like, and he's like, no, but let's get 10. Let's get 9. And I'm like, hey, like, let's slow down. Yeah. Not because it's not a good mindset. Like, I appreciate it. But I was like, hold on. Can we just make like 7 roomier ones?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I know that we were always kind of like in this dichotomy of like 10 here. And I was like, I see 6. And he's like, but this means that we're losing potential on this amount. And we were not understanding the occupancy or the effects of occupancy and things of that nature. So then we started to get a little bit more comfortable with less room counts.
Yeah.
Right. And there's still properties that today I would be like, hey, how about if we just, out of the 3 bedrooms in this space, make 2 big ones?
Yeah.
And these are conversations that we're already having. Because we were so much into like, holy crap, 10 means, 9,000 plus.
Yeah. You see all the positive. You don't really see like the reality of it.
It's like so good that you're just like, why not? Let's make it better. Let's maximize.
Sense,
Like, wow. Right. And then it's shifting into like, that does make sense. But what if our occupancy now is 50%? So do I really have a 10 bedroom or do I actually have a 5?
Yeah, true. Which I had the same train of thought. It wasn't until that PadSplit panel actually is when I started thinking differently, which was not too long ago.
Yeah.
So I see it that way now. It makes sense, And I like that. I like seeing things from different perspectives or hearing different perspectives to get a different look on it, because I'm always all about, improving.
Yeah, for sure. I think understanding that this is more of a long-term play is really how you're going to create a successful business as a PadSplit host. Because ultimately, PadSplit is a platform, but you operate your business how you choose to.
True. Yeah.
Right? PadSplit gives you the tools, but it's still a running business. Like if you have Airbnbs, you run your business how you choose to. True. Equally here, right? So this is what we love, because ultimately we are providing help for investors, but we're also allowing them to have a new business model.
Yeah, it's dope. I mean, I said it on the panel. It's the way for an average guy, to get out of the rat race.
Yep.
It's nothing better than that.
Yeah. Cheapest point of entry into multifamily ownership. Nowhere else can you get a property that's six different units.
Like ownership, and I don't even know the word for it, but like total ownership. Because like people boasting about being on 300 unit deals have like this much
1%.
Of nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they've put this much money into it. To each his own, like that ain't my situation. I need the max return for as little bit as money as possible right now, and then I can get a little bit more conservative later on when I got the stockpile of cash to do some, passive stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, different strokes for different folks.
100%.
Are you mainly focused on PadSplits and wholesaling? Or what else do you do? Well, outside of your education.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Let's also get possibly the misconception. Are you wholesaling? And you probably are, but what else other than wholesaling are you doing?
Yeah.
Because you could be a dispo service in wholesaling. You could just be doing education.
Mm.
What else are you doing other than just doing PadSplit?
Yeah. So and that's a good breakdown of it too, because there's a lot of stuff that we do to make money in this game. And I realized last year I was so focused on, just getting properties, you know, because that was like, oh, if I get this many properties, I'm gonna win. I'm no matter what. But damn, that could be like so far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit, you know, there comes issues with these properties, you know, like one thing goes out, like a septic that I got out now, it's a $7,500 bill, you know, just like that. That money has to come from somewhere. So I quickly realized the importance of earned income. It goes over a lot of people's head, but earned income is the shit. You know, like you get earned income, you have to get the income from somewhere, you know, and you put that income into those investments for the PadSplit, so you can say the cute things like it's a long-term play. You know, nobody fucking wants to hear it's a long-term play who's trying to eat right now. You know what I mean? So earned income is like, I respect that like so much now. That's why I'm doing wholesaling now. Now, you know, I'm okay with saying, I guess I'm not. I was going to say I'm okay with saying I'm a wholesaler, but I'm not. Like, it's too many shady ass wholesalers.
No, hold on. Never mind.
Wholesale is different than it was before, too, though.
Yo, it's super sleazy right now. Yeah, it's super sleazy. I just did a rant on my story post about some dumbass wholesaler who called me on the sleazy stuff they do today, calling from the ghost line, trying to do business with me. Like, bro, like you're already starting off fake as hell,
right?
You know? But yeah, I'm doing that. So what that looks like is there's an education piece in there, right? So creative is my thing, right? And or my niche, I should say. So the Closers Academy. I'm a closer in the sub 2 community. So the Closers Academy, I'm teaching other people how to be closers. Anybody who has that itch to want to be a closer, who wants to make money off of other people's deals, to pretty much be a mercenary in this game, you know, a closer for hire, things like that. How to get around and get into other people's deals and negotiate. Right, I'm teaching them that. So that there's money that comes from that. There's income, right? They pay $500 a month, and they're in there. It's month to month. They can stay in as long as they can, and they usually make their money back like right away. But they have to apply themselves, just like anything else, right? Because it's a mentorship. I'm holding their hand, doing whatever it takes all the way through, right? And that also feeds the wholesale business, you know. So actually doing deals, because they end up JVing with me. Not everybody in there JVs with me. Some people have teams, so they can handle everything in-house, and I can just provide some guidance along the way for those deals. And then the other guys, they don't have a whole, you know, team, so they'll bring deals and they'll JV with me, so I'll make money there. So what I was talking about before, like having a team and not going so well, I mentioned it a little bit. That circumvents the need to have a team, you know. So everybody, I think even if I try to do a team model, go back and do a team, I would make them pay some type of you know, $250 a month or something to have some like type of membership. Because so many people will waste your time, you know. And if you think about it, even as an agent, you got to pay like an office fee or something like that. So kind of makes sense to me now.
You know, even for us, like there are so many educational videos on the basics on PadSplit, like 101 basics on PadSplit, and we still get the questions of like,
oh my God,
the most simple things, and it's like, you did not even do the smallest amount of research, even though there's so much information out there, right? So we see that happen too. We see ourselves repeating the same 5 questions over and over and over and over and over again.
How does that make you guys feel? Like,
we're
honestly,
salaried
nobody's
and
watching.
Commission.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So as part of our job, it doesn't bother us. But when you've seen the same person a couple times and they keep asking the same question, it's like, okay, you're literally a tire kicker right now.
Yeah, facts.
You are wasting my time.
Bandwidth.
Yeah.
I want to allocate our time where people will actually make moves.
So how do you guys handle that? I know how I do, which I'm going to share in a second.
I mean, I know we can't do it the way you probably do, but well, they're leads ultimately on who we're talking with and passing them through the funnel.
Yeah.
So with that, we obviously dictate on who we can support ultimately, and then the other ones kind of just fall into, I'll see you at the next meeting. Yeah. Like we'll see a lot of people at the local meets, and we're like, hey, you're still looking? High five, great, cool.
Free meets, yeah.
For sure. But yeah, as investors, as people who are trying to thrive and grow, and also top performers within the company, and we also do traveling, it's difficult, and it does zap your energy. So,
facts.
But we can't just curve them though.
Yeah, you guys can't.
Yeah, it's hard because we do wear that hat, wear that as a role, and we want to help those people. Yeah. Ultimately, we're here to provide that education without expecting anything in return. It's more like I find myself working more with people that make me work. What do I mean? You asked me the basic questions, whatever. Okay, but next question, now you're doing a more evolved question, a real question that really shows me that you're taking some sort of action, then I will give the same energy back.
Progress.
Right. But if it's the same questions and you're not really moving to the next step, I'm going to just send you like, go read this. Yeah. Go watch this video. And we'll talk when you're actually
it's
moving.
It's interesting because we see a lot of that, you guys, me, I'm sure anybody at any type of somewhat elevated level in this space sees that. There's always people trying to come pick your brain and do all this other stuff, right? And they don't realize how draining that is, especially if you're like wearing a lot of different hats in the business, right? Or you're really trying to massively grow. Even if you got your business leveraged out, like you still don't want to deal with that shit, it's all about an energy exchange, right? And some like the lowest level or form of energy exchange for me is like, if they're gonna, I don't want somebody in the Closer Academy who's just gonna be there, who's not doing anything, right? Even if they're paying, like they're asking a bunch of questions, the same old question, I'm gonna rip them. Like in the Closer Academy, it's a men's only thing. So there's no tiers, there's no little boys, there's none of that shit. They're gonna get ripped if they asking dumbass questions and over again, and they're not taking action because they need to get that bitch assness spanked out of them, And so in there they're paying, right? So that's the energy exchange. They're paying, and then once I get the bitch assness out of them, then they start working, right? Then you can see it, like it's happening. It's a fulfilling thing, like, man, they're actually taking action. They're doing it. They're doing what you said. It worked, or they're finding their own way and it worked, right? Right. But then there's the other people you come in contact with who are just trying, so people will bring me, another way I make money, right? People will bring me deals to either close for them or JV with them outside of Closer Academy, just like random people from IG. I get a lot of people from IG. Those guys, they will sometimes, I don't know if they're doing this intentionally, but they'll kind of dangle the deal, and they'll dangle the deal in front of me to ask all their dumbass questions, and it's crazy because now for me, like you said, you can't answer the way I answer, but for me, I don't work in the corporate American setting. I'm not on salary, so. I only want to attract who resonates with my style. It's easier for me to be who I am, be my authentic self. Yeah. So I don't necessarily care too much if they, if I rub them the wrong way, if they're asking dumbass questions, because some people if you just put the money up, just join the Closer Academy. I can give you the rundown. I can we can handle all of this shit day one. And you won't be making the same dumb mistakes because they don't understand. These creative deals aren't found; they're created. They're created through conversation, and it's literally like seeds you're planting in the beginning of the conversation because you understand the whole playing field. You understand where you're trying to get to. You just need to see which lane they fall into. So all you're doing is guiding them into that lane. It's so easy, but when you're doing it however you want to do it in the beginning, and then you come to me with all now we got to backtrack and do all this stuff. It makes it 20 times harder. So I'll tell them how it is.
And I think, to another layer of that is a lot of these people want to learn it for free.
Yeah, they want it for free.
But why would you not see valuable to invest in your own education? Don't do it to pay me in my business. Do it because you see value and you growing in this and learning this trade for yourself, right? If you don't see that that's valuable to you, then continue to stay on YouTube. And there's so much knowledge in YouTube, right? But don't assume that I will give it all for free neither.
Here's the thing. There is knowledge in YouTube, contrary to popular belief. A lot of people call that infotainment. But, you can piece together a lot of the stuff. That's what I did too, But you got to do it. So some people, a lot of people,
they don't want to do it.
Yeah, they're not doing it. They're not connecting the wires in their head from something they watch here to this and that. They have it isolated in different buckets, Right. And that's actually one thing I talk about in the Closer Academy is that, everybody comes from all different walks of life. Yeah. and this person is going to be I'll never be the type of closer this person is because of the past experience he has. Right? We have a guy who is former military. He's also former retired narcotics detective. Right? So you know how much skills he got.
Yeah.
You know, and he just needs to connect all them skills, like, and then connect it with this. He's running the same, like he becomes a super closer in his own right, you know. But a lot of people keep it compartmentalized in their head, you know. So they're not, you know, association is very helpful when it comes to learning. Yeah. Right. And if you can associate those things with something you already know, then boom, like you're in there. You pick. That's how I've been able to pick up things a lot faster, just associating it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good skill.
I do like that you do charge. So the way I look at your system, to some degree, is how we got into wholesaling, but we joined a brokerage.
Yeah.
But the difference is that you joined the brokerage and you did pay when you sold something or you acquired something, you get your percentage.
Yeah.
But when you're working in that type of system, I'm thinking, how long was I in that type of system? We did a lot of transactions. So the trade-off is we saw a lot of transactions. Yeah. We learned a lot. But we're spending, it's like a TV show. It's every day. It's a sitcom. You come in the morning, you make a ton of signs. At night, you're dropping signs, and you spend the whole afternoon in an office. So we traded time and didn't pay anything except transactionally versus, hey, I can expedite what you're doing and you're just paying $500 a month, and I'm going to go through this process with you and show you how to make more money since there's less of us in a transaction.
Our value in that moment was sweat equity. Our value was our labor. That was our value since we didn't have the financial means or the education, right?
You're paying something.
Correct. That was our trade-off. It was like, you want to learn? Okay, you got to clean the dishes. You got to all that.
Yeah, it's a value exchange, because when I've done stuff for free, oh my God, I've done so much stuff for free. It's crazy how some people will come in demanding. I met with a photographer, right? I won't name his name, but I met with a videographer guy. This guy, we met, bought him lunch, breakfast, or whatever it was. He didn't have equipment. Right. So we talked about, okay, well, maybe I'll get a camera or something he can use or whatever. I'm thinking like, man, okay, I can grow with this guy, you know, grow together and all that stuff. This dude had the nerve to ask for money at the end, like what was pay going to look like and all this. That's straight turn off. Like, bro, you don't even have your own equipment. What are you talking about pay?
Right.
What? Yeah, come on, man.
But mind you, if they had stuck with you and grew with you, then they'd be a part of a bunch of other stuff.
Yep. So
endless possibilities there.
100%. One quote from 50 Cent, right? Smart ass man, 50 Cent. Never met the guy, right? But I look at him like a mentor. But his book, which was
50 Laws of Power.
Not that one.
I was gonna say 50.
Too many words in that one. Fucking with Robert Greene. It's like that.
Yeah, but there's a small one.
Thick reading.
That one's a smaller one with 50 Cent.
Yeah, that was the 50 Cent one.
The
other one, the 48 Laws of Power.
No, that one's that was the 50th power. But no, the other one that he did himself was, because it's in layman's terms, you know. Yeah. I think it was hustle harder, hustle smarter, or something like that, right? He said in there, never overlook the opportunity for a paycheck. For initial paycheck, right? And that's what most people do. They overlook the opportunity for an initial paycheck. Like, bro, you're thinking way too small. Like, we can go like so far with this. That's right. And what you were talking about, everything is about perspective, because how you looked at it, like, yeah, you're doing those, you're putting the sweat equity. Actually, you're paying twice, sweat equity, and you're paying with a cut at the end of the day. You know, when you close that deal, you could pay a little bit of money up front and then learn the stuff, like directly learn it and, you know, get poured into and then go implement it. You know, either way is fine. You just got, you know, pick one. Don't straddle the fence in the middle, you know. And that's what a lot of people try to do, straddle the fence. Yeah. You know.
So I would like to get a little bit into what does your long-term play kind of look like, and then what are you currently actively working on? Because last year was rushing through the process and just implementing as much as you can. Yeah. And you learn to slow that down a little bit. Yeah. Breathe. Take in the moment. What are you implementing this year? And then what are we looking at afterwards?
Okay, so this year, like you said, last year, rushing through everything. This year, slow down, implement the buyback, principles from the book, and really like build something with a great foundation. I'm putting out fires like every day from things I already did, that I already set in a certain path, right? There's more fires to come, I already know, but I'll deal with them when
we will tackle them when they come.
Yeah, exactly. So make as much money as I can in between those fires, because the money will help put out those fires a lot quicker. So really, it's my whole mindset is like, how do I exponentially like grow this thing? I'm tired of I'm doing 6 figures a month now, but which is by far like the most I've ever made. But I'm tired of I want to do more. Like, I want to do more. I want the Lambos. I want the private jets. I want all that stuff because other people have it. Yeah. Like, it's accomplishment, like what the work you've put in, like, you've grown to a level of consciousness where you could even fathom that type of stuff, that type of lifestyle. How some people get it, who fucking knows? I don't know. Like whether it's bad or good in other people's minds or what, but I know how I want to get it. I want to get it how I can. And I just want to be able to aligning, I guess, this year moving forward, like just aligning with people who are doing shit at a high level, like super high level, like the Lambos, the private jets and the boats, the yachts, all that stuff. Like that's where I want to be. That's the long-term play, so however, whatever I got to do, whoever I got to become to get to that level, that's where I want. That's the next level. I'm like stuck in the middle right now.
How do you see that first step? Well, like what's that first step look like to get you to that? Is it getting more properties to add under your rental portfolio? Is it expanding on your Closers Academy?
Yeah.
And growing out a team at that point? Which one do you see out of the things that you're working on that you can expand on to get you to that next step?
Get you there faster.
Yeah, I love that question because it brings up so many funny quotes I've heard on that, right? Some people will argue that no one has ever got filthy fucking rich off of rental properties, right? Nobody talks about people's rental properties, right?
That's that $300 a month income from long-term rentals.
Yeah, that's some exactly. So that ain't it anymore for me. It ain't the rental properties. I'm not looking for the passive income right now, right? I understand what place it comes now. Before I was confused, right, by the facade that's what we're going after, right? That is the long-term goal. But honestly, the goal is to make the money. Like people skip over the earned income. I want to earn massive income. Like to get the Lambos, the yachts, and the private jets, it ain't gonna be rental properties. So I subscribe to that belief now. Whether people want to argue with that or not, because the guys who have the Lambos, the jets, and all that, they're speaking of. I mean, they're talking like this. Right. So it's funny because one of them said, no one talks about Jeff Bezos' rental properties or rental portfolio. No one talks about anybody wealthy, massively wealthy rental portfolio. They talk about their actual business, like the money they're making, the revenue and all that stuff. So where is that going to come? What's the next step? The next step is building a brand, a personal brand, the social media stuff. That's why I've been more open on social media. I'm an introvert, I'm super introvert. So I could be private as hell and be happy. I could be myself and be happy, and I enjoy it. But I can't be like that and expect to get this big old energy from the universe if I'm not putting anything into it. It's an energy exchange. So I have to give, some. I understand that now. So showing more of my routine and, getting more open with showing my life and things like that, the level up, people seeing, the success and things like that. Like we're moving into a high rise next month,
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so like just showing all that and sharing that with everybody helps build the personal brand. So that's the route I'm looking to go from there. That will bring on more people, Closers Academy, bring on more deals, and then I can start, eventually maybe bring on people like the buyback principle to buy my time back, then be able to really run up the business and then add more people to the business. So that's kind of like the path I've kind of plotted.
That's something we struggle with, sharing more of our personal life.
Yeah.
It's completely uncomfortable. Feels so vulnerable. Feels like
Vulnerable. I hate that word.
Yeah.
My push-ups will look way different compared to yours, bro.
No, not
It's all
even.
good.
No, it's not even about the push-ups. It's about like sharing your most private moments, right?
Yeah.
It could be as private as you serving yourself a cup of coffee every morning, right? But it's like sharing those daily things, and it's something not that we struggle with, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But and I know this. There's no growth through comfort, right?
Yeah, true.
So we have to get in that space.
Yeah.
And this is a conversation that we have often. It's like, okay, let's post the deals that we do and the people that we help, But people are buying from you because they like you, they trust you, because of who you are, not because of, anything else. So this is kind of like a outspoken pep talk to the both of us.
Well, and I do think
like we need to continue to grow that.
Yeah, you guys want to do brand too, right? Personal brand. That's everything.
Yeah.
Like,
This is
it's
something that
everything.
we're starting to explore very heavy this year. We've been doing it for maybe like 2 months. So brand new, but it's uncomfortable. And we forget. Well, I forget. No, I know that I need to do more of these daily things.
Yeah.
Just got to get in the habit of it.
Do it. Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it don't matter what and it's not about people saying things. It's like feeling
The feeling. Yeah.
of that
really what it
output
is.
energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think your failures and your successes should also be highlighted, because if you're only showing obviously your successes, then we see that a lot already on social media where everyone's like, yo, this is the vehicle that I have specifically, but they don't show you the struggles of running that business.
Yeah.
And we don't practice posting neither because, well, my point of view, you don't brag about what you have when I was growing up. And if you're doing great, then you still don't brag about it because you try to be humble about it. And you don't want people knowing what's in your pockets.
Yeah.
So you conceal that so that it's not public, so that it doesn't put you in a place of vulnerability.
So how you feel about that now?
I don't care anymore. You hit 30 and you're just like,
Yeah, that's a life of fear,
Yeah.
That's all it is, life of fear.
Mm-hmm.
no, it's different.
Yeah.
So, and it is different, I feel you on that. We all came from that,
Yeah.
that mindset, asking someone how much they make is supposed to be disrespectful or something in the corporate world, apparently. But forget all that, man. Like, it ain't really about being humble. It's about being proud of your life. So many people.
Like I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You did that. Yeah,
I'm
happy.
here because I did what I had to do to be here.
100%. Yeah, and what I need to do better of is like constantly reiterating my story, telling it over and over. It sounds repetitive to me, but my mentor once
You've
said,
lived it. You've been there so
lived
many
it, I've been it,
times.
yeah, and I said it like one time, but
Uh-huh.
but the thing is, not everybody heard it, and then you
Right.
get new subscribers every day.
That's
They didn't
right.
hear it,
Yeah.
so you
Right.
constantly got to keep reinforcing that and saying it, and also it's also showing appreciation to where what you've been through, where you've come from, all that stuff, and where you're at now. Never forgetting that journey. Not resting on your laurels, going after it. So many people out here want to go after it, but they're not brave enough to go after it.
Right.
Like they're just not, they're afraid of the failure. They're afraid of what other people are going to say. They're afraid of all that, So not being like them. And then I feel like when you show that you are going after it, you're just doing all the things that they want to do, and I feel like that's why they subscribe and they watch,
Yep.
And I think we kind of briefly touched on this, but you said, hey, if those guys have it, I can do it too. So
100%.
equally our stories applies to others. It's like, holy shit, these guys are doing it. Why would I not be able to do that myself too?
Especially if they watch you coming up and doing it, like
Right.
through the social media, they're watching you, and like you said, show the failures and things like that, which are not really failures, just little setbacks, but show how your mindset, your unbreakable mindset, gets you through that, and then next thing you know, you're a life coach, and now they're paying you money, so.
That's what I love about your story, and that's one thing that I appreciate about our podcast is that we get to highlight stuff like that. Like, if I'm watching your videos today and I subscribe to your Instagram, I don't know any of those struggles that you went through. I don't know those downs. You rebuilt yourself back up a few times already. So you lived multiple different lifetimes at this point.
True.
you know, and at the end of the day, you can see where you're at today, and that's what makes you stronger, and that's what keeps you disciplined and moving forward. So if you say that you're going to get boats and cars and yachts and all that stuff, planes, I believe it.
Yeah, bro, it's happening.
We'll be there. We'll be there together.
Definitely, you're invited.
We'll be there together.
We'll have our smaller boat.
No, don't worry. We'll have our own.
Yeah,
We'll be parking together.
Definitely.
You know.
Hell yeah.
But with that being said, any advice for people that are getting into whether it's the sub-2 community
Or real estate
or
investing.
real estate or rentals, one piece of advice, and then also how can people reach out to you if they want to sign up to Closers Academy or anything like that?
Definitely. One piece of advice getting into real estate is don't be afraid to do. Actually, I shouldn't say don't be afraid, right? Because you know, it's okay to have fear,
connotation.
right? It's okay, right? To have fear. That's what bravery is for. But have some bravery. Like put that, like some trust in yourself. Put the money out there, or put yourself out there to do the sweat equity, the things that it takes to get into the right rooms with the people who are doing it. You know, somebody that you think is doing it and you want what they have or something similar, or you like their style, get with them and give them the energy exchange. You know, it doesn't have to be me, whoever it is, you know, they deserve that, you know, because they had to work for that. Everybody's had to work for where they're at. But to connect, IG all day.
Okay.
IG is the best place. Sub-2 Drew, that's number 2. Number 2 Drew. Not because I'm number 2. I'm actually number 1. But the other Sub-2 is my guy over in Houston. But
the homie.
It's our guy.
He's the homie. Yeah, he's cool people. But nah, Sub-2 Drew on IG. Hit me up. Yeah.
Help me out. Drew, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This was a great session. Thank you for getting vulnerable, sharing some personal things about yourself.
Oh, you guys didn't ask no hard questions, so it was easy.
I mean, this wasn't a got you interview.
Nah,
We just wanted to
I'm an open
highlight
book,
you.
though, but yeah.
We appreciate it. I mean, we'll definitely catch up, see where you're at in your portfolio. We'll see where you're at with your business.
Lambo, the fucking
There you go.
This would
private
be in a
jet sometime
studio.
from now, but the Lambo probably next. Yeah.
This would be in a studio. This would be a little different.
Yo,
but
the studio is fire. Yo. This
Thank
is
you.
dope, yo, for real.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
100%. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. We sincerely appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for tuning into the Co-Living with PadSplit podcast hosted by Ray and Orianna Nunez. For more exclusive content and community updates, join our Facebook group and follow us on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for more episodes.